Jonno, Simon Grand, saint and sinner, really.
Yeah, it's a difficult one with Grandy, because what we try to be in terms of being composed and playing out from the back comes from him, not the other one. It comes from him. Grandy's mindset is, I can get it back to the goalkeeper, we can play again, go out the other way. Unfortunately, he's made a big mistake, and he's scored. He knows that, you know that, I know that, everyone else who's been watching it knows that. There'll be clamour to blame people after it, but it's just a mistake that he's made in the last minute of the game.
People forget about the goal he scored, of course. That's why I said saint and sinner.
And he's done it quite a few times over the years, where he's dragged us back into games that I remember also a couple of years back. We were 1-0 down and we'd had the same sort of run around as we got here in the first half, and he was the one who popped up and scored. Ironically, we got beat then 2-1 as well. Kingsley last minute. Grandy is the way he is. He plays. We can't coach, a 36-year-old centre back what's right and wrong. He knows that. He'll do it again at some point. Hopefully not in a game in the last minute or last few minutes, and it doesn't cost us. But it's the nature of his game. He got a shout off somebody. He's admitted it. He said someone told him to clear it, but he fought better, and it's just a mistake he's made. And we've been punished from it.
Fair to say you were second best in the first half.
Yeah, I thought they were miles better than us. Miles better than us. And I thought, I'll be honest with you, when we went there last year, Callum's there now, he'll tell you, when we went up there last year, I thought they were the best team we played against. That is a well-coached team. They're full-time. Manager who's played in the Premier League. They're a good side. They've got Greg Ollie and Jordan Preston are top players. Really, really good players, who, in my opinion, are playing below the level. We had two brilliant set-piece moves that we should and could have scored from, two headers. We had Glenn Old's drive where the keeper tipped it over. And apart from the massive pressure that they had, they've not really troubled the goal, as much as we can make things up and pretend they did. But they give us a run around. They look like a very, very good footballing team, which is what they are. Second half, made a couple of tweaks and asked about the intensity and being on the front foot. And it was night and day. It was night and day. We caused them huge problems. We had 2 or 3 really good chances. Hughes pulled off a wheel from Danny Elliott. I don't know who's done that, being a slight lad. Could he have got one at the end? I'm not too sure. So we've had some good chances ourselves. We were pushing forward. Will Goodwin's come on, been brilliant, give us a different dimension. But ultimately, we played the third full-time side we played, and we've won 1-2-1. We've lost 1-2-1 in the last minute. We lost another 1-2-1 in the last minute, and that's the fine margins. We've lost 3 games this season. Away at Spennymoor, away at Gloucester, and at home to Gateshead, conceding all the last minute. That's how fine the margins are. People will want to blame me and Bernard. That's absolutely fine, no problem. It's not. I'm not playing some sort of reverse psychology game. Blame me and Bernard, because that's a good side. We've got a very good team. We're not at the levels where we want to be yet, or where perhaps some of the teams at the top are at this moment in time. But I think we're seeing glimpses, are probably the wrong word. We're seeing moments of quality throughout a game. We can see what we are, can see what the identity is. It's just mistakes at this moment in time are what are costing us. And I'm just like, it's decision making. All the time it's decision making. Not one team is cutting us open and scoring a brilliant goal, a beautiful goal. So the margins are fine. We are where we are at this moment in time. We've got 1 or 2 things we need to box off with individuals and things like that. But and there's lots of players, by the way, that need to get better and put in better performances. Let's not pretend that. Let's not pretend everything we were brilliant today when we were lucky. The best side won over the game, in my opinion. I thought we did enough to at least possibly get something out of the game, in the sense that they scored back from a mistake. I know I'm probably contradicting myself a little bit there, but the margins are fine at this moment in time. It isn't the players. Granny's made a mistake. He'll make another mistake. He'll also score lots of goals for us in the other box. If people want someone to beat the stick with, then look at us, because we picked the team and we set it up the way we did in the first half.
Fair to say the midfield as a unit was too far away from Elliott. I mean, there was too much of a gap, wasn't there?
Yeah, but I think they, in fairness...
So there wasn't an option, basically.
Fairness,
there was only one option.
But I think they pulled us apart. They pulled us all over the place. Where we've looked... I'll ask you the question. How good have we been in midfield this season? Whether it be Declan, Glenn Owen, they've been brilliant. And today we was in a game where runners caused us huge problems. And I think what we saw, especially first half, until we got to grips with it, was a cohesive, well-oiled, full-time team. That's how I saw it. They were better than us. They were better than us. They looked what they were, and they pulled our midfield about brilliantly. Runners, instead of going behind, were staying wide and coming to the ball, and nobody knew to step out, and they ended up playing deep. They were getting on the half turn. They were threading people through. They were a good side. But as I said, once we got that to grips with that in the second half, I don't think I can count on 2 fingers how many times they got in or created opportunity. Apart from a couple of set pieces, we nailed it and we got back into the game. But unfortunately, we made a mistake, and it's cost us late on in the game again.
Disappointing, but you've got a chance to come back on Tuesday night, Alfreton here.
We have to do. We have to do. Look, we believe we're a good side. We let's not make any bones about it. Finishing the playoffs is a failure for this football club. Let's forget all the semantics about budgets and what other players are doing and they're not doing. We expect to be in the playoffs. I think we won't just be in the playoffs. We'll be right amongst it. The run that we've had with the slight gap we've had with illness, etc., probably had a little bit of an impact on us. But in terms of what we're going to be going forward, we've played 8 games. In terms of what we're going to be going forward, we'll be absolutely fine. It's just that we need to get a rhythm about our game. Starting Tuesdays, a few Saturday Tuesdays coming up, and start to see a bit more of, as I said, a lot more rhythm towards what we're trying to be, rather than stop-start, going on a farmer's field, then coming here, going somewhere else, trying to change what we look like in terms of identity from game to game.